Hello there, YouTube family. I'm here again with such an exciting news to just share with you. It's been quite a while, and it's just because a lot of work and a lot of updates has been taking place on our farm, and we are so thrilled and of course so excited to let you know that our birds have started laying. They just started laying. They dropped their first eggs today, and today makes them 18 weeks. They are within their 18th week of existing on the farm. I'm so happy, and of course, you know, it's the joy of every farmer, as I always say, for their birds to lay, because it's at that point where the birds begin to produce things that, you know, can of course pay their rent. Eggs, of course, as you know, are one of those products that a layer poultry farmer uses to make revenue. There are other streams of income from layer poultry farming. Of course, you get to sell litter as manure. Of course, you get to sell spent chickens, what is commonly called old layer. You sell them off to be eaten as meat. But the major source of income comes from the production of these stable eggs by these layers that you see right here behind me. So it's been 18 weeks down the line from when we started out with this batch of our birds, and I'm so happy. Of course, I'm so excited to share with you that finally we have gotten our first eggs. And of course, I'm here today just to share with you some few lessons. Of course, there are so many things I can say, and I'm just here to share with you a few lessons. There are so many things, you know, I cannot share all of an 18 weeks experience in just this video. So within these 18 weeks, there are key things that I've been able to take down as key lessons. There are important things that I can never and I will never ever joke with, even in my next and upcoming batches of birds. And that's just why I'm here to share with you these key lessons, not even from the first day, from days before the first day, from preparing the brooder right up to everything that has contributed to us having our eggs at 18 weeks. And when I take the rearing and the production chart that is given to me by the company that owns the breed, of course, it shows that from the 18th week, your birds should start laying. And I'm excited that 18 weeks our birds are laying. It's a lot of proof, it's a lot of evidence that we are right in track. So if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you get just notified each time we drop a video. This is Farmlife. Welcome back. And even before we delve into the heart of our video, I'll be sharing with you in another video that I'll be posting within the week. I'll be sharing with you 6 very important signs or indicators to let you know that your birds are ready to start laying, and you wouldn't want to miss that video. That's why you have to subscribe to the channel so that you get notified when I drop that video. Now on to what we want to talk about today. I just want to share with you my experience from brooding to different vaccinations to different things that I've experienced on the farm with these birds, even right up to debeaking. As you can see somewhere behind me there, you see their laying boxes somewhere at the background and different things. I think even somewhere there you see them. Of course, they are eating or papaya leaves that have soaked in something. I will share that in another video, but I want to share with you my key lessons and just everything that I've been able to learn. You see, the first thing that I learned, and which is a mistake that many people make, is that they fail so very well in actually preparing their brooder before their birds arrive. A number of people start preparing their brooder just on the day that the birds arrive. You see, whatever environment you are preparing to brood your birds in, you see, you have to get the place prepared. You have to get it cleaned up. You have to get it disinfected. You have to get it lighted. Personally, my experience was not the best, because as at the time I was preparing to bring my birds, the community in which my poultry is located in, we had power seizures, which from that time lasted for about 2 months. And brooding from the beginning was kind of challenging because I was actually not prepared for alternative sources of light, alternative sources of heat. So these are things that, as somebody that is starting out or somebody that is getting into layer and poultry farming, you must make sure that you have an alternative for everything. All right, so when power was taken away, I was actually stuck, because I actually use power for lighting and I also use power for heating, because I'm actually used to and I prefer heating my birds with the heating lamps rather than charcoal, because charcoal is quite expensive. So if you are getting into layer poultry farming and you're considering brooding your birds all by yourself, because you can actually choose to get point of lay birds, yeah, and just carry them into the production season. But if you're considering raising your birds, brooding them from day one up to when you'll be sending them out as spent or as old chickens ready to be eaten as meat, then one of the things that you must prepare for is to make sure you have alternative sources of everything you need to use in brooding, primarily lighting and heating. So I eventually got a generator, and I'm looking forward to getting solar panels and a solar system installed on the farm, because I actually want to run the farm exclusively on solar energy. So be ready to get alternative sources of everything. You know, brooding is a very delicate period in the life of these birds. They are very tender. Their immune systems are still very weak. They have a lot of organs that are still developing and are still very weak, and are still very vulnerable to a lot of diseases. You must make sure biosecurity is well taken of. You don't want your birds to be sick while you are brooding them. You don't want your birds to be sick within this period, because birds being sick means that, number one, you're going to spend more on medication. Number two, there are chances that you're going to lose some of the birds to sickness, and generally you are going to incur a lot of financial losses. So you must make sure that the period when you are brooding your bird, make sure you get ready for the unforeseen. Have an alternative to your heat, have an alternative to your light. My birds have a very strange behavior, meaning that without light, I'm going to suffer a stampede. If lights go out when places are becoming dark, it becomes problematic. So I had to make sure that I get an alternative lighting source. That's what I did to also minimize mortality on my farm. I'm sure I remember that sometime with this batch of birds, there was a time that we had a very painful stampede, and birds died to suffocation. That was caused primarily by seizure of light. That's something that you have to plan for and take very serious. Now, the second key lesson I've learned that I want to share with you is to take their vaccination serious. Anything that pertains to the health of the bird needs to be taken serious. You see, you need to take their vaccination serious. You need to take biosecurity measures serious. I've done a video on the channel on vaccination, everything you need to know about vaccination, and you just have to watch that video so that you understand why you vaccinate your birds and how you should vaccinate your birds, and how to get the right and appropriate vaccination schedules for your birds. Go and watch that video. I'll leave a link to that video up here, because each vaccine is designed to give a degree of immunity to your birds. The next very important thing I want to talk to you about is about the nutrition of your birds. You see, nutrition is what has brought these people this far today. Nutrition is what has helped us to have our first eggs today, because if the birds are underfed, they will not meet the weight requirement for them to lay. I've also come to understand that there are a number of things that your birds require for them to lay. Weight is just one of them. So if your birds must reach the required weight for them to be able to lay and produce eggs, then you must take their feeding and their nutrition very serious. And you must also make sure that their water intake is also very okay, because feeds alone will not give the birds the required weight. Of course, water is a very important component in the life of every bird. Now, the fourth thing I would like to talk about, I'll talk about debeaking. Actually, I've done a lot of videos on the channel from brooding right up to this point of lay. You must take debeaking or beak trimming very serious, and this is particular to people that are into the deep litter system of poultry farming. If you are doing battery cage, I don't think you have any issue with beak trimming. But if you are doing poultry farming and you are doing deep litter, you have your birds, a good number of them like mine, as you see on my background, a good number of them living together in a room or a hall as this and living on their litter, then you must make sure that you take beak trimming very important. Failing to trim your beak summarily will lead to cannibalism. It will lead to birds eating up each other. It will lead to a lot of feather pecking. So that's why at some point of their life, between week 12 and week 15, week 16 latest, you should make sure that you trim their beaks. And as you see behind me on the background, you will find that their laying box are actually there. These boxes have been there for like 4 weeks. Laying boxes will help us have eggs collected clean. It's also going to help prevent eggs from getting broken at every point in time. It's going to prevent floor eggs. It's going to prevent your hens from just laying haphazardly anywhere. And it's very important, because you don't want to move around running from north to south of the hall picking eggs. You want to collect all of your eggs in a particular environment. In a particular, you have all of our laying boxes there. So take the proper handling of your birds very serious, and I assure you week 18 or even earlier you are going to have your first egg. Make sure the birds are properly brooded. Make sure you do their vaccinations very well. If you're not the one doing the vaccination, follow up the veterinary technician or the vet expert that has to do it for you. Follow them up to do it well and to do it timely. Also take their nutrition and their feed very important. Don't be in a haste to mix your own feed. It's okay to get commercial feeds that are good in quality. I'm not saying that making your own feed is a problem. There's no problem with that. But whichever way you want to go, whether making your own feeds or getting commercial feeds, just make sure that the feeds are okay. The feeds are of a great quality. Make sure that the birds are debeaked. Make sure that biosecurity is taken very, very important on your farm. Make sure that there's a food dip in front of your poultry structure that people get to disinfect before entering the poultry house. Make sure that you get their laying boxes available and in time, and make sure that you give them the feed and the water just in the right proportions. And if all of this is done, I assure you, your birds are going to lay their eggs right in time. You're not going to have delayed eggs. In as much as it could be the breed, it could also be poor management practices. If you're new to the channel, kindly hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you get notified each time we drop a video. From here at Farmlife, we say bye bye. See you on our next video.